So are you also still creating personalized coaching plans manually? Then this video is definitely for you. So hello all, welcome back to Pabbly Connect, and in this video we are going to understand how to create personalized coaching plans using an AI agent. So over here I am a fitness coach and we regularly used to create customized coaching plans manually. But this is such a time consuming and a tedious task. So to solve this problem and to save me some time, I've simply created this amazing automation where what is going to happen is that as soon as I add the plan details into my Google Sheets, automatically my AI agent, which is OpenAI, is going to generate me the plan so that we can further add that plan into the Google Docs and again into the Google Sheets, that too without any manual efforts. So to do this, we are simply going to create a connection between Google Sheets, my AI agent, which is OpenAI, again Google Docs and Google Sheets. And to create this connection without knowing any programming or coding language, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. It is an amazing automation software. So do you also want to create this amazing automation? Then for that you have to come with me towards my screen.
Welcome to my screen. So in today's video, I'll show you how to create personalized fitness coaching plans using an AI agent in Pabbly Connect. So instead of spending hours drafting plans manually, we'll automate the process using the client data from Google Sheets. The AI will read the client goals, challenges, preferences, and instantly generate a custom weekly plan completely with motivation tips and action points. So if you are a coach looking to scale and save time, this workflow is a game changer. So let's get started with a really simple example. Let's say that I'm just going to enter my client details like the name, goal, fitness level, preferred schedule, and the focus area right over here. And automatically my AI agent is going to use these details and generate a plan which is personalized to this client, and then further it is going to add that plan details right over here. So we're going to wait for a few seconds till all of this is happening, and yes, you can see the suggested plan has been added right over here, which is Arjun Rao's plan. So I'm just simply going to open this, and yes, over here you can see a proper customized plan according to my client details has been added right over here. So yes, this is the amazing automation which we are going to create in today's video. And if you also want to create this amazing automation for your own business, then for that you have to watch this tutorial till the end. So to do this, we are simply going to open the landing page of Pabbly Connect. And in order to open the landing page of Pabbly Connect, I'm just going to open my browser and look for pabbly.com/connect. So I'm just going to search for it. And as soon as we're going to search for it and open the landing page of Pabbly Connect, over here we are going to get two options. One is sign in and the another one is sign up for free. So if you are a new user, you can click on this sign up for free and you are going to get 100 of tasks free every month to explore the application. But over here I am an existing user, so I'm simply going to click on this sign in. And as soon as we are going to click on this sign in, it is opening all Pabbly apps. And over here you can see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly. But in today's video, we are going to use Pabbly Connect because we are connecting different applications. So I'm simply going to click on this access now right over here to access my Pabbly Connects account. And as soon as we are going to click on this access now, it is opening my dashboard. And to start with this automation, we are simply going to click on this button which says create workflow. And now it is asking me for the workflow name and the folder I want to save the workflow in. So over here on my dashboard, you can see that I have created multiple folders. And if you wish to learn how to create a new folder or a subfolder, you can click on this hyperlink given right over here. So over here, I want to save this workflow in this folder which says automations. And I want to name my workflow as how to create personalized coaching plans using AI agent. And then we are simply going to click on this button right over here which says create. And as soon as we are going to click on this create, it is opening the most important window of our automation, which is our workflow window. So this is the most important window because we have trigger and action in this. Trigger and actions are the two main principles on which our workflow is going to run. Trigger means when this happens and action means do this. So by this you can understand that the actions are response towards the commands given by our trigger, and that's the particular reason that we can have only a single trigger but multiple actions following the commands of our trigger. And in order to start start with our automation, I'm simply going to select my trigger application. So for my trigger application, I'm simply going to select it as Google Sheets, because over here I'm just going to add the client data in this spreadsheet, and I want that as soon as I add the client data, automatically this workflow should get triggered. So that's why we are simply going to search for Google Sheets and select it. And now for the trigger event, we have to select it as new or updated spreadsheet row. And now it is giving me a webhook URL. So we are going to use this same webhook URL in order to create a connection between our Google Sheets and our Pabbly Connect's workflow. So I'm just going to copy this webhook URL, and then we have to follow this help text, and it is saying log into your Google Sheets account, create a new spreadsheet, and then navigate to the extensions and move on to add-ons option. Alright, so we're going to do the same. I'm just going to open my Google Sheets, and now from here we have to go towards this extensions, add-ons, and then we have to go towards this get add-ons. And after coming over here towards this get add-ons, we have to add an extension in our spreadsheet, which is Pabbly Connect Webhooks. So we simply have to search for Pabbly Connect Webhooks, and over here you can see that with the help of this you can install this extension in your spreadsheet. I have already installed this extension, so it is giving me the option of uninstall. You can install this extension right from here. And after installing this extension, you simply have to refresh your spreadsheet. It is a really important step to refresh the spreadsheet, otherwise you'll not be getting the option of Pabbly Connect Webhooks right over here. And after refreshing the spreadsheet, you have to go towards this extensions, and then towards this Pabbly Connect Webhooks, and then towards this initial setup. And after coming over here towards this initial setup, it is asking me for the webhook URL and the trigger column. So we simply have to paste the webhook URL which we copied from our workflow, and over here for the trigger column, I'm just going to enter it as E. So the trigger column will be your final data column, on which if the data is added, the whole of that row will be sent towards the webhook URL. So over here what I want is that as soon as I add these 5 details, automatically the row should be sent towards my webhook URL. So that's why I have kept my trigger column as E. You have to keep it according to your spreadsheet. And after doing this, I'm simply going to click on this button which says submit, and after clicking on submit, it is saying setup configured successfully. So with this, we have successfully created a connection between our Google Sheets and our Pabbly Connect's workflow. But now it is saying waiting for a webhook response, and in the notes it is saying do a test submission / record. So in order to capture this webhook response, we have to do a test submission or record. And in order to do this test submission, I'm just going to open my spreadsheet, and now I'm just going to go towards this extensions Pabbly Connect Webhooks, and we have to switch on this button which is send on event. It is really important to switch on this button, because upon switching on this button, what is going to happen is that as soon as a new event is going to occur in your Google Sheets, automatically the data would be sent towards your webhook URL. So that's why we switch on this button, and after switching on this button, we are ready to do the test submission. So I'm just going to enter my client details right over here. So first I'm simply going to enter the client name, then I'm just going to enter the client goal, the fitness level, the preferred schedule right over here. Then I'm just going to enter the focus area. So yes, you can see that I've successfully entered all of these details, and now these details had been sent towards my webhook URL, which is towards my workflow. And yes, you can see that Pabbly has captured the response for the same. You can see all the details which we entered during our test submission, and with this we have successfully completed this trigger step. And now whenever I'm just going to add my client details into this spreadsheet, automatically this workflow is going to get triggered. Now you're going to move on further and generate personalized coaching plans using an AI agent. So for that, I'm just going to search for my AI agent, which is OpenAI. So I'm just going to search for OpenAI and select it right over here. And now for the action event, I'm simply going to select it as ChatGPT and click on this connect. And now it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your OpenAI account with your Pabbly Connect's workflow, you can simply click on this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and now it is asking me for the token. And to get this token, we are simply going to follow the help text, and it is saying kindly visit your OpenAI API key page to get the API key that you need to enter here. So I'm simply going to go towards this OpenAI API key page to get the API key. And after coming over here, we have to go towards this create new secret key button, and now it is asking me for the name name of the key. So let's say I'm just going to name this key as plans and select my project and click on this create secret key button. And now over here you can see that I've successfully created a secret key. So I'm simply going to copy this key and then we have to paste it right over here in our workflow. And after pasting this API key, we are simply going to click on this save. And as soon as we are going to click on this save, with this we have successfully connected our OpenAI account with our Pabbly Connect's workflow. And now it is asking me to select the AI model. So I'm simply going to select the AI model as GPT-4. And now it is asking me to enter the prompt. So I'm just going to enter my prompt right over here. So yes, you can see that I've successfully entered my prompt. And now I'm just going to enter my client details in order to get the response related to same. Alright, so I'm simply going to enter my client details, but we are not going to copy paste the details, but instead we are going to map it. So you must be wondering what is mapping. So mapping is a method by Pabbly which means inserting the data from the previous step. And as you know, our previous step was the trigger step where we selected Google Sheets as our trigger application. So we are simply going to map the details from the response of our trigger application only. And as soon as we are going to map these details, automatically my details will turn dynamic and change with every new response received. Alright, so I'm simply going to map these details. First, I'm just going to map the goal, then we're going to map the fitness level right over here. So I'm just going to search for fitness level and map it. Now I'm just going to map the preferred schedule right over here. So I'm just going to search for preferred schedule and map it right over here. Now I'm just going to map the focus areas. So I'm just going to search for focus areas and map it right over here. And yes, with this we have successfully completed our prompt. So now I'm just going to click on this save and send test request so that my AI agent can generate the customized plan based on the details which I have entered. And as soon as we are going to click on this save and send test request, we simply had to wait for a few seconds. And yes, you can see the message content generated. So you can see a personalized plan has been generated right over here. And now I'm just going to add this personalized plan into a Google document. For that, I'm just going to add another action step right over here. And now for the action application, I'm simply going to select it as Google Docs. So I'm just going to search for it and select it. And now for the action event, I'm simply going to select it as create a blank document and click on this connect. And now it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your Google Docs account with your Pabbly Connect's workflow, you can simply click on this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection. And now we have to click on this blue button which says sign in with Google. And now I'm just going to simply select my Gmail account and Pabbly is going to ask me for some permissions. So I'm simply going to click on this allow and give Pabbly all the permissions it is asking for because my data is secure with Pabbly. You can also click on this allow Pabbly is safe. And yes, with this we have successfully connected our Google Docs account with our Pabbly Connect's workflow. And after connecting this, it is asking me for the document name. So I want to name the document as the name of my client first, and then I'm just going to keep it as like Neha's plan. So I'm just going to enter Neha's and then plan right over here. Now after naming this document, I'm simply going to click on this save and send test request. And as soon as we're going to click on the same, over here you can see that with this we have successfully created a blank document. Now we are going to move on further and I'm just going to add the details of the plan into this blank document. So for that, I'm just going to add another action step right over here. And then for the action application, I'm just going to select it as Google Docs once again. And now after selecting this for the action event, I'm simply going to select it as append a paragraph to a document and click on this connect. And now it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection once again. So recently I connected my Google Docs account. So I'm just going to click on this select existing connection and then save. And after clicking on this save, with this we have successfully connected our Google Docs account with our Pabbly Connect's workflow. And now it is asking me for the document in which I want to add the paragraph. So what we're going to do is over here we are not going to select the document manually, but instead we are going to map it. So we are simply going to switch on this mapping button and we are going to map the document ID right over here. And in order to get the document ID, I'm just going to search for it in the response of my previous step. So I'm just going to search for document ID, and as you can see the same, so we are simply going to map this. And now we have turned this field a dynamic one. And now I'm just going to insert the text right over here, which is the OpenAI generated content. And after mapping it right over here, I'm simply going to click on this save and send test request. And yes, you can see that we have received a response that with this we have successfully created a Google Docs and added this text into that Google Docs. So I'm just going to open my Google Docs and check for the document created. And yes, in my Google Docs account, you can see the document has been created. And now I'm just going to add this same document into my Google spreadsheet. And in order to do this, I'm just going to add another action step right over here. For the action application, I'm just going to select it as Google Drive. Because first we have to make this document a shareable one, and then only we can add it into a spreadsheet. So for my action event, I'm just going to select it as share a file with anyone and click on this connect. Now it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection once again. So over here, if you haven't connected your Google Drive account, you can click on this add a new connection and then sign in with Google. Once again, you have to give the Gmail permissions to your Pabbly workflow, and then automatically your account would be connected. I have already connected my Google Drive account, so I'm simply going to click on this select existing connection and then save. And as soon as we are going to click on this save right over here, with this we have successfully connected, and now it is asking me for the file ID, which I want to make the shareable one. So over here, once again, we have to map this file. So I'm just going to switch on this mapping button and I'm just going to map this file ID. Over here, you can see that we have received the ID in the response of our previous step. So I'm simply going to map the same and make this also a dynamic one. And now after mapping this file ID, what we have done is we have successfully made this document a shareable one. For that, we have to click on this save and send test request. And yes, we have successfully made this document a shareable one. Over here, you can see the web view link, which we are going to add it right over here into our Google spreadsheet. Alright, so to do this, I'm just going to add another action step right over here, which is obviously Google Sheets. So I'm just going to search for Google Sheets and select it right over here. For the action event, I'm just going to select it as update cell value. So I'm just going to search for update cell value and select it. And after selecting this, we have to click on this connect. And after clicking on this connect, once again, it is asking me for the same. So I have already connected my Google Sheets account. So I'm simply going to click on this select existing connection and then save. And yes, with this we have successfully connected our Google Sheets account. And now it is asking me for the name of the spreadsheet. So the name of my spreadsheet is personalized coaching plans. So I'm simply going to select it and then we have to select the sheet 2. Now we are going to move in further. It is asking me for the range and the value. So it is saying enter the range of the sheet that needs to be updated. So as you can see, I'm just going to open my spreadsheet, and as you can see, the sheet range which needs to be updated is F4. But over here, I'm not going to enter F4 manually because I not only want to update this but every row right over here, right? But you can notice that if I'm just going to add the next line details, the update cell value would be F5, then it will be F6, F7 like this. So you can notice that the F is constant, right? So we can keep F as static right over here, but we have to map the row index because the row is changing with every new response. So that's why I'm just going to map the row index and keep F as static. So as you can see that I have did this. Now we're going to move on further. It is asking me for the value. So over here, what I need to update is I want to attach the Google Drive link, which is a shareable one, which is this web view link. So I'm simply going to attach it right over here. You have to keep in mind that only web view link would be attached right over here. And now we have to click on this save and send test request, and as soon as we're going to do so, yes, you can see that it is saying that it has successfully added this web view link in our Google Sheets. So I'm simply going to open my Google Sheets, and yes, over here you can see the web view link has been added, which is Neha's plan right over here. So as you can see that we have successfully attached this document right over here in our Google Sheet, and now my team can review it directly from here. So yes, with this we have successfully completed this workflow, and now whenever I'm just going to add the client details, automatically this workflow is going to get triggered. My AI agent is going to generate the personalized plan. Further, we are going to add that plan into a Google Doc, and once again we are going to add that document link into this spreadsheet so that my team can review it and further send it towards my client. So yes, with this we have successfully completed this workflow, and like I showed you in the real-time example, this workflow is going to run in backend. We don't have to come back and again to our workflow to click on save and send test request. This workflow workflow is going to run in backend, and we can just sit back and relax. So yes, this was it for the video, and if you have any questions related to the video or the workflow, you can directly comment on this video. And for your reference, I'll just clone this workflow and share the workflow link in the description box so that you can access my workflow. I hope this video was helpful for you. Thank you for watching, everyone.
So not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly Connect, you can integrate many more applications. So if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this website. And if you find our videos helpful, do like and subscribe our channel. Thank you for watching.